Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Age of Empires 3 and yet another Random Ladder Adventures. This is episode 1 of the AoE3 strand of Random Ladder Adventures. And in today's battle, we've got Banani Apina, aka Banana, that's what I'm calling him. Banana playing as Haudenosaunee versus, in the red, Fulani. I wonder if we'll see Fulani archers from Fulani playing as the Hausa. Who will win this game? The Fool or the Banana? We shall see. This is about a 1400 elo battle, if I remember correctly. 14 to 1500. So, not novices to the game by any means. I'm really excited to see how this battle plays out. To my understanding of the civilizations, Haudenosaunee is a civilization that are very good at rushes. They will have some really good tempo available to them. Get some early treasures here being collected by Haudenosaunee here. 50 coin treasure coming up. They're very good at tempo attacks, good at rushes. I would not be surprised, as 80 wood comes in for the Haud, I would not be surprised if we see early tempo captured by Haudenosaunee. They're going to want to set the field of battle for themselves very early on. Good luring, by the way, of the different ostriches here. Meanwhile, the Hausa, I forget if I called them Ethiopia earlier or not, they're Hausa. The Hausa, to my understanding, they're going to be a better long-term eco-civ. So I would suspect, and I might be very wrong, I would suspect that if Fulani is able to sort of withstand whatever early pressure Haudenosaunee pull out, then I think they will be in the better position as the game goes on. But we'll see. I want to know in the comments below, who do you guys think at the 3-minute mark, who do you think is going to end up winning this thing? Maybe we should look at the decks first, and that will give us some insight. If we look at the Hausa deck, what do we have here? So, I'm sorry, yeah, no, this is the Haudenosaunee deck. So we've got the hyenas, tomahawks, warhut. Okay, yeah. To me, as I'm reading this deck, Renegade French. That's kind of cool. I wonder if we'll see any Renegade French or Dutch show up in this battle. Kanya Horsemen, Musket Riders. Yeah, we see a lot of military cards here in H2 and H3. Even in H4. Forest Prowlers, Light Cannons, more Renegade French. Covenant Chain. Yeah. I'm expecting a lot of early aggression from Haudenosaunee. Meanwhile, we switch over to Fulani. Let's see. Bulaku Code, Villagers Gather Faster, Hausa Kingdom. Okay, nice. Lycav Hero, Villagers, Woodwood, Archers, Raiders, Handcav Damage, Palace of Amina. Yeah, so not that Hausa's light on the army cards. And he might have enough to repel what Haudenosaunee was bringing to the table, but I definitely expect early aggression from Haud. And the question will be, does Hausa have what it takes to push this back? Let's take a look at the economies really quickly. We've got 14 vills for Hausa versus 16 vills for Haudenosaunee. The first military units are out on the field. Kanya Horsemen on their way to raid. Do we have any... an exposed hunter right here, maybe? He could be in trouble. But a war camp is coming up. And the war camps for both of these civilizations are able to fire back. They serve as towers, right? Am I wrong about that? I am wrong about that. The war camp does not have that benefit. Fulani archers. This is a mistake, I think. Archers will not do a very good job repelling up the horsemen. So he's going to have to idle his eco and keep them safe in order to avoid getting raided to death by the horsemen. Okay, the hero goes down, which gives Harunoshane a little bit of XP. But that's not the worst thing in the world. Gidananka coming online. This is helpful. It will keep his main base very safe. The archers also doing a good job repelling the tomahawks. And I gotta go back. I said earlier this was a mistake, but I think I was wrong. I mean, he only trained 2 archers, and those 2 were enough to repel the 5 tomahawk warriors. That was really cool. Now we have javelin riders, light cav. That means they're going to do a very good job pushing back the Kanya horsemen. I think. Do we have more archers on the way? We do have more archers on the way. I think Fulani's playing this really well, creating just enough army to push back the Howd. I'm sorry, the Howd and Shawnee. Meanwhile, let's see. So, checking those eco numbers: 19 bills for Haudenosaunee, 16 bills for Fulani for the Hausa. Yeah, the archer's going to do a great job fighting off the tomahawks. Yeah, he's got no choice but to retreat, just taking damage. The hyena, they're also archers. I believe the Fulani are better. Let's take a look. Just want to compare some numbers here. So the hyena, they do 12 ranged damage with double bonus damage against heavy infantry. The Fulani do only 9 ranged damage, and they actually do less versus heavy infantry. So I've got to say, actually, it looks like the hyena are just a better archer. Got the same amount of HP. Well, the hyena have been buffed in some way. They got a plus 11. Either way, though, right now in this battlefield, the Fulani archers just look like they're weaker. But they're massed way better. And they've got the javelin rider back up, which means these Kanya horsemen, it's a very dangerous thing. The livestock markets are amazing for the Hausa. You're able to get so many extra resources with careful management of your Sangha cattle. Will this bill go down? It will. Oh, wow. That escapes in the last possible second. The score? For whatever the score is worth, AoE3's scoreboard is just an absolute mess. See, like, as I was speaking that sentence, they were tied. Now Fulani has a 1,000-point lead, which is crazy. Haudenosaunee, 28 bills. The Hausa only have 18 bills, so our Native American civilization has a 10-point bill lead. But let's see where we are after this fight. The Raiders jumping in on these infantry. The Tomahawk will do well against them, but they're backed up by so many archers and the Javelin Riders. I think this guy exists mostly just to snare, to slow down these units. If I were him, I might put the Javelin Riders into melee mode and see if I think that'll snare. Either way, that was a fantastic fight for the Fulani. These guys, what are they doing? No. No. I get the feeling that Banana, I don't know if that was a desperation play or just, you know, maybe he had his War Hut sort of, yeah, I think the War Hut's just automatically producing units over that way, didn't realize it. Some free kills for Fulani. And Banani Apina, he's in trouble. Part of me keeps going back to the eco, though. I mean, 32 vills now for Haudenosaunee versus only 18. That's tough. But the population is actually in Hausa's favor because of the incredible military momentum that he now has. what a great display of AoE3 Jujitsu. I mean, just taking the energy, all of that aggression that Banani Apina was putting into that Age 2 push, and just flipping it, right? He just completely neutralized that attack, and now he has just a seemingly unstoppable force here. You've got 5 Raiders, 2 Javelin Riders, and a whole bunch of Fulani Archers. I think that Haudenosaunee needs a lot of cavalry. We need a lot of Kanya horsemen. If I were in his shoes, and he's the better player than I am if you're looking at the ELO, but if I were in his shoes, I would be thinking about going just all in Kanya horsemen. And you could try to overwhelm the 2 Javelin Riders, right? And then you hope to just smash this force of Fulani Archers. I do wonder. I've got to know. Fulani, if you end up watching this video, I need to know. Do you play Fulani Archers? Like, that's your strat? That's what you play every game, and that's why you name yourself Fulani? Because that is so appropriate. That the Fulani use Fulani Archers. I wonder if he ages up Age 2 with the Fulani. I have to go back and check, but that would be funny. Okay. Alright, we got a kill there. But remember, the longer this game goes on, the better of a hope that Banani has, because the eco will be given more time to actually mass up economy, mass up units. This is a good fight, I think. Yeah, this is a good fight for Haudenosaunee. If you're wanting this game to even out a little bit, that's the kind of stuff you want to see. At this point, yeah, Haudenosaunee actually taken the population lead back. They've got an eco lead. I'd say that the army is still favoring the Fulani here, but, still favoring Hausa. I think that Haud and Hausa, they're so similar. I might go ahead and just call red the Fulani. Just because that's the name. That's the minor civ, or whatever you want to call that. It's the name of the player. These are the Fulani. You got the Haudenosaunee and the Fulani. That works for me. A war hut here in the south to give these villagers somewhere to retreat to, kind of block off this area, secure this gold or silver coin. Fur dressing coming in. If I remember right, that would give the Vills more HP. Fulani does not seem to be doing anything here. Okay, Kanya Horsemen. We got raids coming in, and of course the Hausa economy, the Fulani economy, it's weaker. So any vills that are lost here, it's going to be a bigger deal. 1, 2, oh my goodness, that's a lot of vills going down. Well played by Haudenosaunee. Now, if you are the Fulani here, you've got to recognize your opponent is going heavy into cavalry. And I suppose he knows that, because he's got a lot of Javelin Riders up and running. So boy, oh boy, do you need... I am thinking probably what the Howard player needs. He's going to end up wanting Forest Prowlers and Kanya Horsemen. You want the Forest Prowlers, you want a good skirmisher unit in order to shoot down the Javelin Riders and to go toe-to-toe with the archers, right? And then you want the cavalry in order to just collapse on this archer ball. I think that's the play here. He might try to advance. I think the Tomahawks are a mistake. Because the Tomahawks, they will do well against the Javelin Riders if the Javelin Riders just stand there and take the pounding. Right? But most likely, the Javelin Riders will run away, and then you have these light infantry archers just shooting down these heavy infantry Tomahawk warriors. Right? They are saying, at this point, the scoreboard claims now Banani Abina actually has the score lead. Is that true, though? Does that reflect the reality? I don't think so. I don't think so. They do have an eco lead. So, and it looks like... Will we be seeing Age 3 from either of these players? That's one of the fun things, one of the interesting things about Age of Empires 3. I have found that in both AoE2 and in Age of Mythology, for that matter, going up in ages to Age 3 or even Age 4 is often a matter of when, not if. But in Age of Empires 3, games are often won in Age 2. You don't need to go up to the 3rd age. You don't need artillery or whatever is unlocked in Age 3 for your Civ. You can often just win the game in the 2nd age. So I do wonder whether we'll see either player commit the resources to get up to Age 3, get up the technologies. We see 600 coin coming in for our Haudenosaunee player. He has nowhere near enough food to age up. So maybe those resources will go into more units, which I think makes sense. You know, one of the grave mistakes you can make is to focus too much on technologies, focus too much on aging up, and you fall behind in the military count and just get steamrolled. That's happened to me in far too many matches. A university, I don't know what you call this thing. They're not called Gidananka, are they? They're Gidananka? A fortress, right? Trading post. If I remember correctly, for the Hausa, you want to link these together in order for them to produce even more influence. I think the university produces more influence when it's surrounded by a fortress, a trading post. I think a town center is another one. Something like that. Age 3 on the way. We're Haudenosaunee with the Wise Woman. Meanwhile, our Fulani player, Mayada. Heavy infantry. Maigadi. Okay. More villagers coming up. Spending the influence. Makes sense.
Nashiria.
It's not bad. You know? I think the opponent hasn't... If you're worried about Kanya horsemen, and there are a handful of Kanya horsemen, then getting out some heavy infantry is a really good play. Light cav here, awesome. A good play. I think at this point, the game has lulled. We're sort of just building up eco, you know, waiting for the right moment to strike. I predict Banani Apina sees that he's higher up on the scoreboard. So he's been given the time to breathe. He thinks he's now in a really good spot. My prediction is Age 3 comes in for him any second now. Okay. When Age 3 hits, he'll want to pick up the upgrades for his Tomahawk.
Okay.
Does he have any? He's holding onto a card. So I wonder what he's going to send. Forest Prowlers, maybe? I like the idea of Forest Prowlers. I would send Forest Prowlers right away. Then again, if he wants to get into the fight, maybe Cavalry would be the better pick here. But... Alright, I need to see like upgrades coming in right now. Elite Tomahawk. Yes, this is the right call. Getting pushed away by the Javelin Riders. Why aren't you using the Tomahawks to screen for your horsemen? Huh. That's an interesting... And now, actually, the Javelin Riders... See, now we're looking at this from a bird's eye view, but I would be swinging back around and trying to cut these off. You know, the best thing you can get as an RTS player is the ability to take on parts of your enemy army piecemeal instead of fighting them all at once. Especially with the mixed composition that Fulani has here. Yeah. Just shut down all those Javelin Riders, that'd be great. I think that was a little bit of a positional misplay here. A very understandable one, a one I might have made myself, but nevertheless, a little bit of a misplay in moving those tomahawks.
Rosatos.
49 vills versus 30 vills. As Fulani now is the one to hit age 3. What's he gonna do with it? Never upgrade to the next age unless you have a plan for what you're gonna do with it. Imported cannons are coming in right away. It is... I was gonna say it's good that he's fighting now. I think Banani Apina, Shani are in for a world of hurt. We're gonna see upgraded Fulani archers any second now, I'm sure. Right? That's gotta be coming up. But the imported cannons, when those arrive, were they canceled? We need to see some cannons. Right? When we see those cannons, and those cannons start going to town on just this infantry force, I do like the force prowlers. And that's the right pick there. I would much rather have force prowlers than tomahawk warriors. If only there were a card to turn all of your tomahawk warriors into force prowlers. Yeah, I don't like... I don't like how this force is just sitting here. We're just sort of waiting. There's no... Let's just build up. We're gonna get one big clash that's just gonna end the game, aren't we? I don't believe this. He's gonna move in. He's gonna see the second Gidan Bida. Gidananka. The Gidan, I guess, the fort. This is the second fortune back up. This is a fake fight. Well, while we're in the lull, you know, I believe this video will be releasing around Christmas. It might be Christmas Day that I release it. It might be maybe a little bit before Christmas or a little after. Either way, let me just say Merry Christmas to each and every one of you who is watching this video. If you are a Christian like I am, then you know that this is just an incredible time to reflect on the incredible blessings and the incredible mercy that God has shown each and every one of us. And if you're not a Christian, well, it's still a time for Thanksgiving, a time of reflecting on those blessings, a time to be a blessing. God loves you. I'll just say that. Won't turn into a whole sermon, but I'll just say Merry Christmas. And there's a whole lot more to this season, this time period, than just, you know, the gifts or whatever else, you know. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas, and thank you for spending it, part of it, over here at Iron Kaiser Gaming. You know, one of the blessings, when I think about the blessings in my life, and I could name a whole lot of them, I have been a very, very blessed man. I'm very thankful. But one of them is that these games are just so much, they're just so much fun. There's such a legacy for me. When they talk about any Age of Empires game, AoE3 was one of the very first strategy games that I ever played online. And, you know, playing them, just comp stomps. Because when I was playing them initially, I was scared to death about playing, you know, PvP, ranked ladder. Also, my internet wasn't really good enough. But I played a bunch of comp stomps. And I just have so many fond memories of AoE3. I love this game. And you talk about Age of Empires 2. Oh my goodness, Age of Empires 2. I have many of my friendships, like my best friend I have today because of Age of Empires 2. Right? You know, this YouTube channel, which is growing slowly but steadily. And I'm really thankful for the community that we've built here. I really love just seeing your comments. It's always such a delight to, you know, put out a video and to see the comments, to see people liking it, just that people are enjoying what I'm putting out. That's awesome. I mean, I remember when I started the channel, if I got double-digit views, I was, you know, like happy. If I would go back in a week and say, whoa, 20 views on my first vid or whatever, it's like, that was awesome. And now, you know, again, as we're, you know, as we've sort of approached or we've hit 1,250 subscribers, and you know, it's like, wow, it's like like these videos, a lot of them get triple digits. I gotta jump in, by the way. So Hot and Shawnee here has hit pop cap. He's deleting his own units so that he can make more room. I'm assuming for the Covenant chain, 2 heavy cannons, a number of mercs from the British Isles. Oh my goodness, he's gonna overpop. He's at 234 population. We're about to see a big battle. I'm gonna guess right down the center. I don't know if that's the best choice. He's definitely weaker up here at the top, but knocking down these fortresses will shut down Fulani production. So, meanwhile, he's also in Age 4, and he's getting up culverins. Maybe he can sense what's coming. Field guns, culverins. More vills. He's only got 47 villagers to the enemy's 57. These pop numbers are so low. Which at this point, if I'm the Hot on Ashani's shoes, I kind of get it because, you know, you don't really have any more pop space. But that's not my instinct. My instinct would be to get those vill numbers up high. That's the AoE2 player in me. We see a couple heavy cannons here in the fight. A lot of Kanya horsemen. Several heavy infantry here in the front line. Camel riders. Oh my goodness. The battle is on. A lot of champion Fulani archers in the back. They are going to... Yeah, the attempt on my life. I'm worried about the attempt on this whole army's life. The Fulani archers will shred the forest prowlers if they get there. We have Highlanders in the background. We got mercs. Oh, okay. So Red's front line appears to be collapsing right alongside Blue's. I think Red might be falling a little bit faster. The question then is how much damage can these archers do? Archers versus Tomahawks is a great fight. We are hearing that, where is he? There it is. The Griot, which I believe is giving a rate of fire bonus to the Fulani archers. He goes down. No more trumpet. Now the forest prowlers, I don't think they do bonus damage to skirms, but they have more base range attack. So the forest prowlers are a better pickup than the Fulani archer. What a fight! And if we take a look at the pop numbers, we have 113 pop right now for Fulani versus 130 for Howd. The delta between the two has slim, so I would call that a win. Oh, those, the field cannons, they're not. Yeah, the Tomahawks have to engage on the Lafidi Knights here. Which is actually what they're good for. I mean, they're an anti-cavalry unit, right? I love how they're surrounding the cannons, making it hard for the cavalry to engage on those cannons. Good stuff. The cannons, in turn, blowing up those archers. That was some really good play there by Haudenosaunee. The two forts go down. The center has really opened up here. And my concern for Fulani, it's not so much that particular battle. I think that might have gone kind of sort of in his favor, or at least there's some silver linings to that fight. What concerns me is that the economy is just not there. And even as I say that, he has actually invested pretty heavily in the eco. He's back up now to 64 vills versus Haudenosaunee 59. If that were to stay that way, which it will not, the cavalry have arrived, and they are absolutely shutting down this wing of the Fulani food eco. He's down. So down to 15 bills on food, and food so desperately needed. That was a raid you did not want to see if your name is Fulani. What a brawl. So I'll just wrap up my point just by saying one of the great blessings is like this game is epic. I think we're seeing some really cool battles here between these two civilizations. You know, I normally, right now, I'm focusing on Euro civs as I'm working on just building my skills, building my knowledge of the game. I'm kind of going back to basics. I've been playing a decent amount of British lately and just sort of the Euro civs, the standard stuff. It is really cool to see these two, Haudenosaunee, the Hausa, battle it out, especially the Hausa. I don't think I see them a lot. So a tip of the hat to Fulani for broadcasting his strategy with his name. That's hilarious. You love to see that. But the win goes to Banani Apina, which I think that he was losing this. You know, early on, Fulani had that push, and if he just kept pushing, I think he wins. Or at the very least, he really cripples Banani's gameplay. Maybe the archers would not have been able to shut down the war hut very well. I'm not sure, but I think that Fulani had a moment where he was winning this. He could have won it, and instead he pulled back. He focused on building up a stronger force, and that just gave Banani Apina time to breathe, time to let that superior economy translate itself into a stronger army, and ending up able to overpop with cannons, with mercenaries, and able to win the game. Well played. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode 1 of the AoE3 wing of Random Ladder Adventures. If you guys liked it, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and letting me know in the comments below that you want to see more Random Ladder Adventures. Or you want to see more, you know, Kaiser AoE3 gameplay. Or you want to see more whatever. Let me know. For now, this is yours truly, the Iron Kaiser, signing off. Have a great one out there, guys. I'll see you around.